I think that when I was, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Rinyald. And if you disagree with anything in the video, make sure you join the Discord and we can have a chat sometime.
So recently there was a debate with me and Scratch with two other people, and we debated top 8 Soma and someone. We were debating the messaging of that topic. That debate, Scratch went on his unhinged schizo arc and called their two debate opponents disgusting, slimy, subhuman fucks, leading to quite a bit of backlash.
What else happened? Wait, you're leaving something out. What else happened? I thought there was a comment about somebody running the banks in that debate too.
Maybe
I'm misremembering.
Someone made an optic suicide.
Cringy did in fact say that the Jews run the banks.
That's confirmed by the local Jew.
Oh my fucking god.
Anyway.
Guys, remember, we're cutting out the locker room talk.
Yes, we are. Well, I can just edit this, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, if you're gonna throw Scratch under the bus, you have to throw yourself under the bus too. Okay, it happened. It's true.
I would never say something like that.
Me either.
Never say something horrific and horrendous
You
like that.
literally said things like that, Lucas. What are you talking about? What is Lucas talking about?
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, as soon as the debate ended, my Substack post, or I guess essay on outlining every single point I made in the debate dropped. Nobody read it. Everybody just completely ignored every single point I made because of some of the unhinged behavior shown by, I guess, Scratch and the one thing I said, which everybody for some reason forgot about. I don't know why. Nobody's actually come to criticize me about that yet, except these fuckers. But the hilarious part is it led to this Discord thread. What the fuck? Oh, here it is. With at Omen, are you deconstructing misogyny? And Scratch on his unhinged schizo arc, posting a picture of the kitchen. What do you all think about this?
I think that when I was, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. I think when I was sent that link to join the Discord server, it was like one of the biggest eye rolls I've ever done in my life. I think that because you guys looked so bad, it made you look a billion times worse coming into the Discord after to troll about it. I think that was maybe one of the worst decisions that you could make.
I completely agree, which is why I wasn't doing any trolling. Scratch, Noah, because Noah, I have to say, you did.
I did.
In fact, you did boast as a Jew. I recognize.
I did.
Deconstruct.
Yeah. So for everyone watching, I'll explain what I said, and then I'll explain why I said it. So during the debate, there was an analogy for why this messaging is bad, why it invokes a bad reaction. So the analogy that was used was, well, then can we say it's all Jews until it's no Jews, referring to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Obviously, they had a very visceral reaction to that and said, we don't want to talk about this, it's disanalogous, which even though it is analogous, the fact that they had the visceral reaction to it was kind of at the point of the analogy that Scratch and Cringy were trying to make. And I, going into the Discord to say that, I said, as a Jew, I need to deconstruct it's all Jews until no Jews, because I wanted to see if that would prompt the conversation, to see if they would ask why, the same way they want to use it's all men until it's no men to prompt the conversation asking why. But obviously it didn't prompt the conversation. It just led to them blocking me, which therefore goes further on to prove the point that it's all men until it's no men is a bad messaging or optics strategy to be able to overthrow the patriarchy, because it makes people have a visceral reaction and then they just don't listen. So it kind of validated the point.
And Scratch? Since you did forward the message to the entire server.
I want to say is that the word schizo is actually an ambulous slur against people who have schizophrenia and other mental disabilities. The second thing I want to say is that the post is fucking hilarious. It's coded in irony. Obviously, I'm not misogynist, right? The fact that they're calling me misogynist is why I'm posting it, right? The fact, um, yeah, was it good? But optically, no. Did I get a fucking laugh out of it? Yes, and
Okay, wait. Okay, if you're not a
I derived 5 utility units from the laugh, and we lost 2 utility units from the optics. Okay.
Maybe
Renewal, what
maybe
do
a
you
little
think?
more than 2 utility units. Maybe a couple more. Than
Okay,
that.
like 1.5. I'll put it there.
I think it hits back to the thing that I said earlier. I think that whenever you're criticizing somebody for their messaging, I think you have to make sure that you're not doing bullshit like this.
So, I actually do have a question. So, as you guys can see here, I put up the qualities of a valid slogan. Do you guys think that this list is good? Do you think there's any criticisms of the 5 necessary qualities and then the 6 supporting one I put down here? Do you think it's a good list? Do you think it's a bad list? Do you think it could be expanded, or you would add anything? Or
I think the list is based as fuck. I, as a science major who knows fucking nothing about communications but really loves talking to people, it seems like the 5 6 points really hit on everything that you want to try to hit to be able to get a message out there that you want people to actually listen to and gain something from.
I think it's really difficult to gauge right now what kind of messaging works and what kind of messaging doesn't work, because something that a lot of people leave out is that right now we have a president who like literally went up on stage and made fun of Paul Pelosi for being attacked by a hammer, and everyone's like fine with it. So I think it's really hard to tell like empirically what works, because it feels like we're in a pretty foreign world right now. Like intuitively it seems like the list of qualities that you laid out for a slogan to work, that feels satisfying to me. But I think it's also it's tough to tell right now because everything is so fucked up and hard to predict.
Remember when he said that? Sorry, remember when he said, or when Trump said that people who get captured in war are suckers and losers?
I like the ones that didn't get captured.
Yeah, that was. Anyway, go
So
ahead.
yeah, it's really hard to put a bar on like what will
true.
constitute effective messaging, because I mean Donald Trump is the president right now. I don't know if you can measure good messaging aside from being elected to presidential office, and it seems like he kind of spits in the face of whatever we would regard to be good messaging. So it's kind of hard to
They're
tell.
eating the cat.
Do you
It's
guys
a great
think that
example of that it's extreme. It's ridiculous on its face. It's untrue. It didn't happen. It can be interpreted in literally every single negative way. Every single negative way. It doesn't constitute any of
True.
it. And yet Trump supporters ate it the fuck up. I still hear Trump supporters to this day saying that that is true. It's literally like a giant conspiracy theory. So I don't think probably for the audience that we're appealing to, it's not something we can get away with. I think it's there's probably some like specific thing with Trump, but yeah, I'd agree. It's really hard to tell what is and isn't an effective way to message right now.
I also think it's one of the big reasons why, unfortunately, that I think Republicans and Donald Trump are able to get away with that messaging. I think you actually brought something really valuable up with the Haitians thing. It's because whenever Republicans or Donald Trump want to engage in like divisive exclusionary rhetoric, it's always excluding a minority that they didn't really need anyway. Like it's always targeted towards some sort of immigrant population, some sort of people like that don't have real political power. Whereas like when the leftists do it, they're isolating like a fourth of their voting chunk.
True. What were you gonna say?
Do you guys think that it's good? Yeah. Do you guys think it could be flipped as a good thing that like the left is like divided in two by this slogan? Because while I disagree that the slogan is effective, it probably could be effective in certain areas. Do you think it's like a good thing that like the left is hitting like both areas since there's like a divide on it, or do you think it's like showing weakness that we can't like be coherent on a specific message?
The only time this slogan is really effective is when you have somebody who votes left wing, votes for Kamala Harris as a Democrat, and is economically left wing, but is socially right wing. That's the only time this slogan actually makes sense. And there's the unfortunate thing is that in this partisan world today, there's very few people are like that. If you're on a left wing, you're probably generally going to already believe in a patriarchy and that it negatively affects men. I don't really see a huge utility to the slogan. And honestly, even if you were using it to message towards that specific group of people, right wingers and Trump and Meg are still going to be able to are still going to see that and are still going to use it to attack us and say that we just hate all men.
Yeah, I think it's definitely beneficial to have like, because Democrats have historically, I'm pretty sure, been like a pretty wide net of people. So it's probably good to not have like 100% cohesiveness throughout the entire party. But I mean, there's obviously give and takes to everything because it also makes you look hella disorganized.
Okay, so I do actually have, I guess, one more question surrounding this topic. When we use studies called an examination of what makes an effective presidential campaign slogan, do you think that would apply to a slogan centering a social issue, or that this study is something that we can derive meaning from for this specific topic?
Yeah, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's no reason why it wouldn't map
did-
on if you're trying to get popular
Are you
support for something.
Are you specifically? There's a point in debate, and everybody should go watch it, where I think Jody tried to say, "Well, this isn't a presidential one, presidential slogan, so therefore this doesn't apply," which is really dumb to me. And maybe this is just an misunderstanding from most people's points. When you're doing an analogy, or even trying to use a study to compare something, there's certain qualities of that thing that needs to apply to. So, one, are we appealing to a broad amount of people? Yes. Yes, absolutely. And two, is it a political message? Absolutely. Which that's same with presidential slogan, same with all men till no men, right? Those are two qualifiers. And merely saying it's presidential doesn't actually take away from any of those two things we're trying to use the study for. So I think
I
that's one
also
huge miscommunication debate. And honestly, that's the one huge miscommunication in general when it comes to analogies or using anything.
something that I keep hearing them say, or keep I kept hearing them say over and over again, was that this isn't a presidential slogan. It's not political. It's a social issue. Neglecting the fact that the only way to get like good, like real, so not the only way but the best way to get like real good social change is to elect politicians who want to make that real good social change. Just like kind of yelling and saying you want change while not actually making the change kind of does nothing. So it's a lot better to actually make the change than to just talk about making the change.
Well, I mean, on top of that, like they kind of go hand in hand too. Like if your goal is just to make men more aware of the role that they play in the patriarchy, or to like try and get men to disassemble their role in the patriarchy, regardless of whether or not you're trying to get them to vote or to get them to do that, you're going to need the men on your side in order to do it. They're not going to willingly deconstruct a system that they want to see in place or that they don't believe exists.
This is literally the answer to like the stupid fucking point that Andrew Wilson makes at the start of every debate of a feminist. So,
Yeah, the
do
force
you need to
doctrine.
appeal? Yeah, the force doctrine and shit, right? This is like you can just appeal to men. This is how every political movement works. You appeal to the opposition or these people who are moderate to your stance but not fully committed. You get them to join your side, and then you actually get to implement your policies.